Yo, what is up YouTube, E10 Clan, and today we're gonna do a new type of MUT 15 player card review. We're gonna do it on offense. It's gonna be on 95 overall Mystery Chris Johnson. This card's been in the game for a while, and recently his price has dropped since the new Chris Johnson came out, so I figured I might as well do it since he's kind of budgety now, and more of you guys are gonna be able to pick him up. So comparing his stats, he has 98 speed, 99 acceleration, still one of the fastest running backs in the game. He has 94 carrying, and the surprise on this card, of course, is that he has 84 trucking, which I don't think very many people expected when it first came out. So I figured let's get into a game. Let's see what he can do here. I've had this card for a while. I love it. I've used 96 Marshawn Lynch, or 97 Marshawn Lynch. He wasn't as good. I've used a couple of the running backs, but Chris Johnson's been the #1 guy so far, so I figure I might as well show you guys what his strengths, his weaknesses are, so let's get right into this gameplay. Going against my most hated team, the New York Giants, personally, being a Patriots fan, so I should take pleasure in destroying this guy, or hopefully. What I like to do is a lot of people like to run to set up the pass. I like to pass to set up the run because I feel like running isn't as effective in this game, and therefore you gotta try and throw the ball a little bit down the field. Users aren't as effective, so right here using Vernon Davis on a little smoke screen, just trying to get a couple yards, hopefully setting up Chris Johnson. And so one of the categories, versatility, I really want to test Chris Johnson on it. I really want to get the feel for how this card can really, like right here, can he catch the ball on a normal basis? So right there he does, thank goodness for us. I want to make sure that he's an every down back. I want to make sure he's not going to fumble it every other play or twice a game, something crazy. And then another category, I just want to test his effectiveness. Does he make a lot of his own plays? So a lot of running backs, they might just be, you run the ball. If you don't do a spin, if you don't do a stiff arm, if you don't do a truck, he just goes down to the ground. I want to see what this Chris Johnson can do by himself without me interacting. Because sometimes when you're running the ball, you're not going to perform the correct animation, you're not going to perform the correct spin move or the correct juke or the correct stiff arm. Sometimes if you have a really good running back or somebody with really high elusiveness or trucking, they'll do that animation themselves and it'll help you out big time, especially when you're just focusing on getting up the field and not on what button to press. Right here, making a risky throw, Aldon Smith batting it down. So as I said, versatility, we're going to test that out first. We're going to really attack this guy underneath. We're going to use Chris Johnson because what I've noticed about Chris Johnson through using him is he's a very good receiving back. He's got like long arms. He has great height for a running back. So 5'11" is not super tall for a receiver, but a receiving back, a lot of them are like 5'8", 5'9". He's 5'11", as you can see right here, right over the middle, saving us on 3rd and 8. He just makes natural cuts. It's almost like he is a receiver, which is kind of weird because most running backs don't make cuts like that. So I don't know if that's his awareness or if he has high route running or something, but nonetheless, he's a very effective receiving back, which is invaluable in this game, especially considering that running is less effective. So you got to kind of create your own running game through short passes and short screens. As you can see, this game I didn't really cut out me selecting plays because I just wanted you to see what I was selecting, so you know if he's effective in this running or not. Right here, it's lagging a little bit. I apologize for that. But the lag, maybe the video lag helped me because I just tossed it up to Des right there. The lag does stop, don't fear, so don't even worry about it. But I think I'll show this first defensive drive from this other guy's, from my opponent, just to show you guys his team a little more, see if he can score or not, and that way you guys know, like, when I'm going up in a game, I want you guys to know that I'm not just going up against some guy who has a 90 overall team and he's just getting overpowered by my 97 overall team. So I'm just showing you this. He does have AP at running back, which is very weird, but every other person on his team, I think he had Andre Johnson and Calvin Johnson, so he had a pretty solid team. Definitely not as good as mine, but that's okay because we don't want to see as good as ours because then that means that guy plays this game pretty seriously. Nonetheless, right here, our new 99 Cam, not quite in the position to stop that pass. It's okay though. He stayed in position to stop the runner afterwards, which is very critical. What I'm really focused on though this game is once I get this ball back here, if I can. Oh goodness gracious! So right here he just throws it, like I said, Andre Johnson. I don't know which Andre that is. He's pretty fast though, so maybe 97 Andre from last year with 95 speed. Anyways, let's just get back to the running game. Let's get back to the passing game. Anyway, so I play these guys and I show you these drives on defense just so you guys know for sure that he is not some scrub and that I'm just using Chris Johnson and dominating some noob. I'm going to show you it so that way when you guys go up against somebody, you use this card and you feel confident that you're going to be able to beat a top tier opponent with this 95 overall Chris Johnson right there. See, he fought for an extra yard or two, rolled forward. That's a very critical thing with running backs is rolling forward because they're really reduce the trucking animation. Last year, you could flat out truck anybody in this game. In this game, there's no real trucking animation. It's more like your guy will run into him and he'll either roll forward or he won't. So that's why 84 trucking, even though it doesn't seem that high, having that 80 plus trucking helps a whole lot just because it makes them roll forward. He may not run over a guy, but he rolls forward and gains that extra 2-3 yards right there. He did it again. So already that's points towards his every down back or maybe his versatility. Yeah, versatility because I'm looking for receiving, I'm looking for speed, I'm looking for power. Preferably all three, but a lot of cards like Marshawn Lynch, he may have great power and great speed, but he's not very good at route running and not very good at catching. So far, Chris Johnson has been outperforming him at pretty much every level besides power, but power is not nearly as important in this game, I promise. Last year, if you had Eric Dickerson or Walter Payton, someone along those lines, you were just dominant. But if you had a Chris Johnson Combine Warrior card, not nearly as dominant. So, but I'm kind of glad because last year guys would just do counter runs on me in stretches and it got me flustered. I remember last year I was, oh my goodness, people just, what is that stupid strong power, whatever that running formation is called. They would just run that and it was so difficult to get to the edge to stop them in time. But in this game, it's very easy to stop, thankfully. You really have to pass, which it does up the difficulty. I know passing, it seems like the easier route, but to consistently pass against a top tier team, not throw an interception and not get sacked, you really have to be on edge. You really have to be thinking about what play am I going to run next. Do I want to set myself up for a first down or do I just want to continue to move the chain? So there's always that aspect of it. Anyways, right here, Chris Johnson running pretty strong so far. Right here, he does get tripped up in the backfield, but that was more my offensive line. Of course, you guys, all of this, I'm running behind like probably a 96, 97 overall offensive line. So if your offensive line is bad, odds are your running game is not going to be that great. I'd recommend doing counter runs because counter run kind of makes up for the lack of offensive line. Right there, Chris Johnson saving us again on third down with another clutch catch from him. So more points towards his versatility, and more than everything, this card has shown that he has the versatility to be a strong. So right here, as you can see, just perfectly set up and he fumbles the ball. So that's gonna knock off points off his every down back because one thing about Chris Johnson, he has great speed, pretty good power, but he has low carrying, not low carrying necessarily, but low stamina. And he has middle of the road carrying is okay, but that stamina, it really does hurt us. So right here, right over the middle to Vernon Davis, beautiful play. So after Chris Johnson fumbled, I kind of didn't trust him right here, so I'm just going to probably throw it in the end zone, just get a quick touchdown, and let him rest until next drive, since it probably will be in the second half when I next put him on the field. Nonetheless, please, guys, leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment below, though, suggesting who I should do next, what card I should do next. I'm this late in the game, I can pretty much afford almost anybody. Obviously golden tickets and stuff, probably not them, but I'm saying I want to do a card that's useful to you guys. I can't do all your cards, but maybe select a category. You want me to do a 95 overall receiver, 95 overall running back, something along those lines, and I'll choose one of the guys I feel like would be the best fit for you guys. I don't choose bad cards because that doesn't help you guys. I choose good cards and then I show them in the gameplay. Then I show you what I rate them so you guys know if they fit your scheme or not, or if it's going to be an upgrade to your position at all. I've heard some guys suggest like Jeremy Hill and things of that nature, and we know Jeremy Hill is really good. Somebody suggested 87 outside Cam Chancellor. That's a good suggestion because Cam Chancellor, he's playing out of position, so he's probably going to have low awareness. His tackling isn't that great, but he has incredible jumping and great hit power. So it's a trade-off that you got to be you need to know to make, and so it helps when somebody else risks their coins for you. So that's what I'm doing. Like, I have a little more coins than average person, I'd say, like around 3.5 million. So I'm able to buy these cards, show you guys how they play, and as you can see right there, our Chris Johnson, he gained some more points towards every down back. He's moving the chains consistently for us. His numbers aren't staggering, but that one fumble, it was just a perfect hit stick, so you can't count him off too much for that. Nonetheless, and maybe it's like right there, 96 Amari Cooper. He's only 8K, but he has 97 speed, 100 catch in traffic, but he has low awareness and low, like release. So if you guys have a card like that you'd like to know more about, maybe it's a little bit on the edge of your price range and you want to know if you want to risk that many coins, let me know in the comments below. I'll try my best to review it. I got a couple people want to see linebackers, a lot of linebackers I've noticed. Maybe that's just because you have to have 3 or 4 linebackers, and so you want to make sure every one of them is as good as they can possibly be. I understand that. I'm going to try and stick around, hopefully 94, 93 plus overall cards, just because they're so cheap right now that pretty much everyone can afford them. A 90, 92 overall card, there isn't any 90 overall cards that I feel really can compete at this stage in MUT. So keep in mind that when you ask me to review a card, because I don't want to just review a 90 overall card that really can't compete at the stages. We make an incredible throw to Wes Welker right there. I don't know how that pulled off, but I just kept backing up, 28 yards gained. Anyway, so 95 over Chris Johnson. I think he goes for around 60K on the auction block on the Xbox One. I can't speak for PS4 or 360 or PS3, so keep that in mind. And then in terms, so right here we're gonna keep running it to him. We're gonna see if he can continue right here. Great play, held onto the ball, so 7-8 yards gain. That's what we'd like to see. Right now he's averaging like 3.8 yards per carry, but I mean, anytime you gain more than 3 to 4 yards in this game, it's a success run in the football, because you just need those extra couple yards just to pick up the chains when the throwing the ball isn't necessarily working. Right there, he fought for an extra yard, so that'll help him out. Anyways, as I was saying, right here, we're just going to try and throw it again. I'm sorry if I throw it a little bit too much, you guys, but I do still like to win the games when I do the card review. It gives me a bad feeling when I lose, show you guys the video that I lost, and then you're like, oh, you lost the game, he's not that good. I promise this Chris Johnson's really good. Thus far, that is. I am planning to upgrade to 99 Chris Johnson when I get my next coins up, but that'll be, a week or two probably till I can get him. That's the new Cam Chancellor, which I missed the tackle with, so he's 99 overall. I love that card. 102 hit power. Like, I could definitely do a card review on that, but it doesn't go out to a broader audience. Only a select few people can spend 400K at strong safety, so I want to help everybody, like probably 30, 40, maybe 50K cards along those lines. Eric Weddle, that's 98 overall. He's also a new addition to the team. As you can see, his second pick of the game. He's really good. Anyway, you guys, please like, comment, subscribe. That's pretty much everything. The game ended. I just drove down the field and scored a field goal. Let's hop right into this card review and see what Chris Johnson's stats are. Alright, so Chris Johnson's overall review. We got versatility, 9 out of 10. This dude can flat out play. He can be a chain mover. He can catch the ball well. He doesn't fumble too often, so every down back he's an 8 out of 10. I mean, this dude does have lower stamina, and in 3rd and goal, 4th and goal situations, he can be a bit of a liability, but that's okay. Just sub in a guy with big trucking, maybe a cheap Eddie Lacy, LeGarrette Blount, someone like that. You'll get the job done. And then Smart AI, this car has great elusiveness and pretty good trucking. He always makes a cool stiff arm or a cool juke move, something like that. He's a great player. Please go pick him up, you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please tune in next time as well. Please tell me to stop saying please. And peace out. Thanks for watching, you guys.